he makes an effort to try and look down the shirt of Rasulullah to see if he has that seal. Because in the previous scriptures it was mentioned that the Prophet will come and he'll have this mark on his back, and this is the khatim, the seal of prophethood. So this was during his teenage life. Nevertheless, he continues, like I say, in a regular fashion, did not cause any trouble. He was given the laqab, the title of Al-Amin. People began to trust him. He was very kind, he was very honest. All the good characteristics of a human being, very civilized, very well-mannered. Even in his business deals as a merchant, very ethical. This continues until the age of 25. At the age of, and I want just to mention this, I got it noted here, before becoming a merchant, he also was a shepherd. He would herd the animals and take them into that belonged to his uncle, and he would take care of his animals. Why I mention this, what is the lesson we get from here? We have to think about this, not only the Prophet ﷺ, but all the other Anbiya ﷺ, even Ibrahim ﷺ and Musa ﷺ, all these prophets, all these Anbiya had the same profession. Before becoming a prophet, they were also shepherds. The hikmah and wisdom behind this is that when you tend to animals, it brings out the quality of humility and humbleness. That how they tend to these animals, how they take care of them. This was the hikmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to bring these qualities in this human being, to train this human being, that eventually you will become a real shepherd when you will lead the people. And Rasulullah has many a time even used this word, ra'in, that Rasulullah mentioned one hadith, kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyati, that every one of you is a shepherd. Kullukum ra'in, every one of you is a shepherd. Wa kulluhum mas'ulun an ra'iyati, and every one of you will be questioned about his flock. And this is in reference to our family, towards our children, that we are shepherds over our flock, our family. We have to take care of them, and indeed we will be questioned on the day of Qiyamah with regards to our flock, how we took care of our children, how we took care of our family, how we took care of our flock. So this word has been used many a time. Nevertheless, coming back to where I mentioned with regards to his adulthood, he continued his business, and on one occasion he goes to Sham, to Syria, and he's contracted to Khadija al-Kubra radiallahu ta'ala anha, and he does business for her. Seeing his excellent business ethics, his honesty, the increase in business, she proposes, a marriage proposal. She puts forward a marriage proposal towards him. He indeed accepts, and he gets married to Khadija al-Kubra radiallahu ta'ala anha. What are the lessons we get from here? First and foremost, the lesson we get is that it is permissible, even in Islam, for a woman to propose towards a man. Generally, the tradition is that a man or the boy will go to, will propose via a third party, to the family. But it is permissible indeed that if the girl side of the family wants to propose, then they can indeed propose towards the boy. So this happened in the case of Rasulullah. Also something to ponder about, that Rasulullah, his first marriage he was only 25 years of age. And Khadija al-Kubra, who was the first from amongst Azwaj Mutahharat, she was 40 years of age, twice widowed with 3 children. So especially those who have, animosity towards Islam and have, a vengeance and agenda towards Islam, always mentioned that Rasulullah married many times. But you have to consider this, indeed, if Rasulullah married for lust and for passion, then why would a 25-year-old young man marry a 40-year-old woman who is twice widowed with 3 children? Something to think about. And I'm not saying this is a response to them, but rather something we should think about, that there's hikmah and wisdom again in that Rasulullah marries a lady who is 15 years older than him, some narrations 41 years, 16 years older than him, and again she's been twice widowed, and she has children of her own. From her he bears 6 children, 4 girls and 2 boys. The 2 boys named Abdullah and Qasim. Abdullah and Qasim both passed away in the infancy, and Abdullah was in fact given the name of Tahir because he was born after the time of prophethood, but both in infancy. The 4 girls, Zainab, Kulthum, Ruqayya and Fatima. Why mention these names is many a time parents come to me that they're about to have a child, Allah is about to bless them with a child, and they ask, what name should we give our child? And all as I've mentioned to them, the best names you can give are the names of the Ahlul Bayt, the names of the household of the members of Rasulullah, of the household of Rasulullah, the names of the Anbiya, the names of the Sahaba, but generally we want to give a good name. And the best names generally we notice in the subcontinent, many a time you see girls with the name Fatima, Zainab, Ruqayya, boys with the name Muhammad, Ahmed, Abdul Rahman. These are the best names you can give our children. Again, not undermining if someone has a different name, someone has a unique name. Alhamdulillah, it's permissible, but better still, there's great, barakah and blessing in giving the names of such personalities, great personalities of Islam. There is, a lot of barakah and blessing in doing so. Rasulullah marries Khadija al-Kubra, and this is in the time when he reaches 40 years of age, when the entire part of his Nabuwwat starts. What happens was, he was searching for the truth. Like I mentioned, in his childhood, he was, his heart was cleansed, he was pure, He was given the title Al-Amin, and he was searching for the truth. He was the religion Rasul was on was the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam, the religion of Hanifa Muslima. Similar to Ibrahim alayhi salam, Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما, that Ibrahim alayhi salam, neither was he a Christian nor a Jew, but he was a Hanifa Muslima, on the religion of the balanced religion, the equal religion of Islam, Hanifa Muslima. So similarly, Rasul was on the religion of Hanifa Muslima, but he was in search of the truth. In making an effort to search for the truth, he would go in and retire in the cave of Hira, which is in the mountain of Jabal Nur, which Alhamdulillah I had an occasion to visit, and I was sad to say on my part, I was unable to get to the top of that mountain, not even top of the mountain, not to the foothills, to the foot of that mountain. When I made the pilgrimage this year, I was very excited that inshallah I will go there and I'll make an effort to go to the top of the mountain and go into the cave of Hira. But the taxi driver drove us so close to the mountain, he couldn't get very close, there was a lot of traffic. And when I saw the mountain from there, I was already done. I said I cannot go up. But the lesson I want to bring out from there is to think that how Rasul you think about his physical strength, his endurance, and how he walked all the way to the top of the mountain. And when you get to the top of the mountain, there's quite a long distance to walk to the actual cave of Hira, and he would retire from the cave of Hira for many days on end, searching for the truth, meditating, thinking about who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, or who our creator is, thinking about the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a lesson we get from there, like I said, it was sad on my part that I was not able to even go up due to the lack of my physical ability, but something we have to think about, the endurance, the strength of Rasul, how he managed to go up, how he managed to stay there. The little cave is, at least what I've seen of pictures, etc. online, there's a small opening to the cave, and he retires in there, and he's searching for the creator, or searching for an answer. And alhamdulillah, when he's 40 years of age, when he received Nabuwat, he's indeed in this cave. The first revelation comes where Jibreel Amin comes before him. And again, this is something we have learned before, we know this information, but I want to bring out, like I said, the lesson we get from there. That Jibreel Amin comes to him and says, Iqra, the first word revealed, Iqra, the read. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, read in the name of your Lord. The response of Rasul sallallahu ma ana biqari'in, I cannot read. So Jibreel Amin takes Rasul sallallahu and he hugs Rasul sallallahu, and again he says, Iqra. Again Rasul sallallahu says, ma ana biqari'in, I cannot read. I do not know how to, I cannot read. The third time, and he again embraces Rasul sallallahu, hugs Rasul sallallahu. The third time he says that Iqra, read. Somebody responds. Again, Jibreel Amin embraces Rasul sallallahu, gives him that hug, embraces him, and then tells him to read. And on the fourth time, when he tells him, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, that read in the name of your Lord. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaqa al-insana min alaq, read in the name of the Lord that created you from a congealed clot of blood. Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram alladhi allama bil qalam, that Lord that taught you by means of the pen, that Lord that educated you and taught you. So this is the narration, the historical event that took place. What is the lesson we get from there? The first lesson definitely we get is a person is making an effort to memorize Quran, to learn Quran. We are all excited, we want to learn Quran, we should learn Quran, we make an effort to learn Quran, but we tend to struggle. And why we tend to struggle is because we recite the verse once, we recite the verse twice, and we expect to memorize this verse. And this happens in children as well as adults. But from here we get, the lesson is that takrar, or repetition. Constant repetition helps us to memorize, and not only Quran, but anything else, even the knowledge of the dunya. When we repeat something, eventually it sticks in our heads. So this is a lesson we get here, that even Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam made an effort on the third attempt, is only able to read, is able to memorize Quran. So even on our side, we should continue to attempt, continue with our attempts in terms of learning how to read Quran. We should not give up on the first attempt and say, no, ma'ana biharin, I cannot read, it's the end of it. But we should continue, we should make an effort to continue to memorize Quran. So when it comes to memorizing of Quran, learning Quran, knowledge in general, ilm, knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should continue with our efforts and our attempts. And this also transcends in the dunya. Also in the professional world or in the secular world, we can transcend that same quality, that we should not give up on the first attempt, but a second and a third attempt, and continue to go on. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open our hearts and put that Quran in our hearts. So this is the first revelation. When this revelation happens, Rasul obviously now finds his answer, but he's very perturbed. He's not sure what happened. He's not sure, is this wahi, or is this satanic whispers, is this waswasa, what is this? He starts trembling, and he runs back home. He runs back home to his wife Khadija al-Kubra.